Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class, that is English for grade 2. We are learning unit 9. Its title is The Ants. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is, or modify it for your convenience. I am going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today under the title of grammar, we are going to learn about question words. Before this, in unit 5, I have already taught you question words. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture again. And we are going to learn further to recognize the function of selected question words. For example, what, when, to write answer to simple questions, and recognize and apply capitalization to the initial letter of the first word of a sentence and to the initial letter of the names of people, pets, and places. These are our today's SLOs. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran, Surah Mulk, verse 30. Say to them, did you even consider if all the water that you have in the wells were to sink down into the depth of the earth, who will produce for you clear flowing water? Yes, my dear students, what this beautiful verse is telling us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting a situation in front of us, and Allah is saying, have you ever thought if all the water which is on the surface of the earth, if it is sunk into the earth, from where you will get water? From nowhere. So beta, water is a huge blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We drink a lot of water every day. So every time we should say thanks to Allah, Alhamdulillah, for such a huge blessing. Right? And my dear children, now you see we have started sentence with capital letter, we have put a punctuation mark, and it is a question. So you tell me what are question words and where do we do capitalization? We have learnt about question words, we have learned the rules of capitalization. Pause the video, answer these questions to your teacher, and then come back quickly. Yes, my dear students, I hope you remember about question words. That question words are what, who, where, why, when, and we use these words according to the need of the sentence. For example, we use what when we inquire about something. What is this? What is your name? Okay, and when someone says what, it means you have to answer whatever is being, what is this? So you have to tell the name of that object. What is your name? So you have to tell your name. Okay, we use who when we inquire about someone. Who is your brother? Who did this? So both questions are inquiring about the person. So in answer you have to tell about the person. Where? We use this word when we inquire about a place. Where are you going? Where is my book? So whenever a question is asked by this a question word where, you should tell the place. Where are you going? I'm going to school. Where is my book? Your book is on the table. Okay, so where means you have to tell the place. Okay, why? Whenever a question starts with why, you have to tell the reason. Why is the baby crying? Maybe baby is hungry, that's why the baby is crying. So it is demanding the reason. And why is she not paying attention? Okay, and next is when. So we use this word when as a question word when we inquire about time. When will you reach home? I will be at home by 2 o'clock. All right. So when means you have to tell time. You have to answer by telling the time. And when are you going to Karachi? I'm going to Karachi next week. All right, this is how beta all the function of every question word is different, and by looking at the question word we should identify what the question is asking about and we should answer accordingly, right? So this is what your book is saying. Question words are used to ask questions about people, object, places, time and situation. What, who, where, why, when, whom, whose, which and how, all are question words, but better this time our focus is just a few of them. What do you do? Who is at the door? When is your birthday? And how is your father or mother? Okay, so are you clear with the concept? So let's practice it from your book. What you have to do, look at the picture, read the question, and you have to write its answer in a simple way. Okay, so if there is any confusion, you may raise hand, you may discuss with your teacher, and teacher kindly guide the student. Don't tell the answer, make the child to reach to the answer. Okay, so pause the video, complete this question and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job, you are smart. The second question, the second concept we are going to learn is, where do we do capitalization? Means where we write capital letters of alphabets. The first rule, we have learned two rules. What is the first rule? The initial letter of the first word of a sentence must always be written in the capital form. Means you are going to start writing, the first letter of your sentence must always be a capital letter, like this. This is a book. So this T, why it's capital? Because this is the first letter of the first word of the sentence. Okay. And next, we live in Lahore. So here, why this W is capital? Because this is the first letter of first word of the sentence. So whenever you start writing first letter of your sentence, first letter of the first word of your sentence must always be a capital letter, right? And if you don't do it, it will be a mistake. The next rule is, the particular naming words are also written with capital letter. So the first letter of a particular naming word is also capitalized. How? Like this. My uncle, why this M is capital? Because this is the first letter of the first word of the sentence, so it will be capital. My uncle lives in Islamabad. Now why this I is capital? Because Islamabad is a particular name. We know it's a particular name of a beautiful city in Pakistan, right? So it will always be written, whatever the name of a particular place is, it always be written with a capital letter. The next is the name. Now you see this T is capital because this is the first letter of the first word of the sentence. The name of our national hero is Quaid-e-Azam. Why this Q is capital? Because it is a particular name, right? Okay, and it is appearing within the sentence. Wherever it comes, we should write it with capital letter. The next is, this is Mano. Now this M is capital because our pet cat, it is name of a pet. So pet is always, because beta when we name a pet, it becomes a particular name. That's why we apply capitalization. The next is my neighbor. Now this M is capital, we know why, because it is the first letter of first word of the sentence. My neighbor Mr. John. Why this J is capital? Because it is a particular name of a person. Mr. John has a pet dog, its name is Fifi. So this is name of this dog, that's why it's capital. Do you understand? The first letter of the name of a person or a pet or a place is always capital. Are you clear with the concept? Okay, let's practice it through an activity. Teacher will divide class in pairs and teacher will write a sentence on board without capitalization and punctuation. One student will correct it for capitalization and the other will put the correct punctuation mark. Okay, either it's a question, so you have to put a question mark. If it is a simple sentence, you have to put a full stop. So teacher kindly like make it little tricky so students can enjoy it. Pause the video, enjoy this activity, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, are you done with it? Good job. You are smart. Now let's practice it from your book. What you have to do, rewrite these sentences using capital letters for the particular names. Okay. So you know, I have taught you 2 rules of capitalization you have to apply on these sentences. So pause the video, rewrite these sentences with correct capitalization in your notebook, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, are you done with it? Good job. Now it's time for your homework. You will write 5 sentences using question words in notebook, and definitely you will apply the punctuation rules we just learned. And here are 2 worksheets, my dear fellow teachers. These worksheets, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation, links are given. You may click it, download it, and kindly provide printed worksheets to students for practice. And my dear students, what we are going to do, the first worksheet is about question words. Look at the picture and use the correct question word. And the second is for capitalization. You have to apply capitalization to these sentences. So this is how you are going to complete these worksheets. And what we have learned today, we learned about the question words, what, who, where, why, and when. And we practice using question words, what, who, where, why, and when. And we also practice to answer these questions. We also learned the first letter of the first word in a sentence and the initial letters of names of people, pets, and places should be capital. So we achieved our SLOs to recognize the function of selected question words. For example, what and when to write answer to simple questions. Recognize and apply capitalization to the initial letter of the first word of a sentence and the initial letter of the names of people, pets, and places. Are we done with it? Yes. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning and take very good care of yourself. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.